Hey y'all, it's your girl, the missus with the kisses, baby. Mwah. What's good? What's good in the city? Okay, we have a show for y'all tonight. We have a father, okay, a father, not a mother. We got a father up here tonight, okay, and he is here to tell his story about his lovely little baby. Y'all, she's just the cutest little thing. Look at her right here. Look at her. Look at her. Miss Justice Starks. Miss Justice Starks, he is here to tell her story. Rest in peace to this sweet baby girl, okay? Sweet baby girl. So we finna go ahead. We're gonna get started right now. You know what we gotta do? We gotta start with our intro. And then I got a nice little joint for y'all just as well. Here we go.
Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus. Let's talk about celebrities. Let's talk about current events. Let's talk about things you don't see on regular TV. So join in on PGT time. PGT time. Tune in on PGT time. PGT time. Come join us on PGT time. PGT time. Join us on PGT time. PGT time. Yeah.
In order for y'all to do what God is calling y'all to do, to take y'all platform for it to plateau and it can go to levels that you never seen, don't best believe it's gonna come with devils.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. But I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody going to clean it up.
I've been moving calm, no start no trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cuddle me. You know how I like it when you loving me. I don't wanna die for them to miss me. Yes, I see the things that they wishing on me. Hope I got some brothers that outlive me. They gon' tell the story, it was different with me. God's plan, God's plan. I hold back, sometimes I won't. I feel good, sometimes I don't. I finesse down West End Road. I go down to G.O.D. I go hard on Southside G. I make sure that Northside E. And still, bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish on me. Hey, hey. She said, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my woman. I'm sorry. $50, even got a teddy on me. 81, that bring the crashes to the party. And you know me, turn the auto into the 03, dog. Without 40 alley, there be no me. Imagine if I never met the broski. I can't do this on my own. Someone watching this shit close. I've been missing Scarlet Road. I go down at G.O.D. I go hard on Southside G. I make sure that Northside E. And still, bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish on me. Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish on me.
Hey, it's your girl, the missus. The missus with the kisses, baby. Y'all, let me tell y'all. I gotta tell y'all before we get started. You know, tonight's peachy news. We're supposed to have the whole crew up here tonight. Poolie can't make it. I'm so sorry, Poolie can't make it. but it's okay because we still got Jason. But let me tell y'all what just happened with Jason. Jason came up early. We was down here chit-chatting and everything before I guess pulled up, and I guess is here in the building, baby. But Jason said, I hear something. I said, you what? I hear something. I said, oh, that was Poolie. He was like, I heard something in my house. I said, okay. And then he got real quiet. And he said, I'll be right back. Let me go check this out. I said, okay. Jason ain't brought his ass back, y'all. And I'm over like, Lord, please let Jason be okay. Please let him be okay. I know he fine, though. He better be fine. He better be fine. True. But we need Jason. We need Jason in our life, don't we, y'all? Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Jason, baby. And I know y'all heard our song, God's Plan. God's Plan. I love that song. I can't think of the guy's name, unfortunately. Yes. We hope he's all right. I'm telling y'all. Let me show y'all. See? So y'all know I ain't bullshitting with y'all. This is Jason's screen. Jason was here. He was talking to me and everything. Jason. We gonna bring him back down. He will be back. He gotta come back. Now, if he don't come back, I'm calling 911 from Atlanta, Georgia to Minnesota. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm calling 911. Why 911? Because we need to know what Jason is. This is not no skit. This is not no guy. This is so serious. He said something was wrong. He was hearing things. And he left. And he ain't been back. So that was a total of maybe, it's 9:13. It definitely was 13 minutes ago. It definitely was 13 minutes ago. Because that's why we ain't start on time. So maybe 15 minutes now. But he okay. We just gonna keep saying he okay. So let's get started, y'all. We gotta bring up our guest. We gotta bring up our special guest for tonight. His name is Mr. Jenerius Starks. And I showed y'all his pretty gorgeous baby girl. Pretty little thing. And here she go right here again. Let me show y'all a different picture. Look at her. We got so many pictures to show y'all. Of course, you all know that we got a tribute just as well. So we're going to play the tribute towards the end of the show. So make sure y'all stick around for the tribute. But right now, like I said, we're going to go ahead and get this show started. And what else I got to tell y'all before we get the show started? Friday, Saturday, and Monday. Friday, Saturday, and Monday will be throwbacks, okay? They will be throwbacks. It's still going to come up as a live video, but they are throwbacks. So make sure y'all tune in for that. Each show, same time. So make sure y'all tune in. I will be back to do a live video on next Wednesday, on the 22nd. Another Peachy News edition, okay? So we're leaving out on the Peachy News edition, and we're coming back in on the Peachy News edition, all right? So make sure y'all tune in. I will be popping up periodically, throughout the weekend and everything, letting y'all know what I got going on in my life, because y'all know it's something going on for me not to be on the show doing the live, okay? So I'll let y'all know what I got going on. Don't even worry about it. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to bring up Jenerius Starks. We're going to just do our thing, y'all. You know how we do. This is our youngest victim on Peachy Tea Time. Our youngest victim on Peachy Tea Time as far as the families that come in on Peachy News, okay? So we're going to try to hold on up, y'all. We're going to try to hold on up on this one. And here comes Mr. Starks, baby. Jenerius Starks in the building, baby. Yes. Hey, Jenerius. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am wonderful. We can't hardly hear you. We just need you to speak up a little bit more or turn your volume up or something. But we can see you good. We see you real good.
Is that fine?
That's a lot better. That's a lot better. Now you'll be seeing me looking down because I'm gotta look to make sure that Jason don't pop back up. And when he do pop back up, we gonna go ahead and bring him back up. And then we're gonna see where the hell Waldo went. You see what I'm saying? We gotta see where Waldo went. But Jenerius, thank you so much for accepting my invite here on to PGT Time and trusting me with your daughter's story. I must say, y'all, it when I reach out to people and ask them to come on my show, I'm used to it. I'm used to it now. I do it all the time. This time it was a little different, Jenerius. It was a little different. And the reason why it was so different was because she was such a little baby. She was only 1 year old. So it was really kind of tough reaching out to you because I didn't know what you was gonna say. I ain't know if you're gonna be like, girl, what did you call it? If you don't get off my line, I ain't know what it was gonna be like. But I did what God told me to do. I reached out anyways, and I'm just so honored to have you here tonight. I really am. I thank you very much. So, Jenerius, have you ever saw any of my shows?
When you reached out,
It's messing up. Your sound messing up again.
I said after you reached out, I watched like one show.
Okay.
You can hear me a little better now?
We can hear you a little bit better now. Okay. So you did see a little bit on how the show goes and everything. So that's awesome. That's good. But we're going to get started. I want to start with a news broadcast first. Okay. We're going to start with a news broadcast first. And then that's how we will get started with the story. Let's go into these comments right quick. Welcome, Daddy. We sure appreciate you, Daddy. Carmen said, welcome. Veronica says, she is such a little beauty. Yes, she was. Carmen says, so sorry for your loss. All right, y'all, let's get started. We're going to start with a news broadcast. You know how we do this. You know how we rock. So we got to start with our fair usage first, okay? While we're playing the fair usage, please whisper a prayer for Jason. We'll just whisper a prayer for him, okay? That's all I ask. All right, here we go.
Warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
We begin tonight with the tragic death of a 1-year-old girl as her grieving father demands answers. Good evening. Thank you for joining us here at 11. I'm Dave Llewellyn. Police say Justice Starks was in the care of her mother's friend when she supposedly fell down some steps and later died. But was it an accident or is there a crime involved? 7 Action News reporter Alex Bozarjian is digging into the case tonight and talked to the baby's father.
The child's father says they're still running tests on Justice Starks' body, trying to figure out exactly how she died and if she had injuries prior to her fall. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office says right now they're reviewing a warrant request from Detroit Police.
She'd be with me right now if she was still alive. This was one of my days to have her.
Jenerius Starks took pride in his role as a father. He says in this house, Justice was cared for, loved, and celebrated.
She brought joy to like so many people's lives. She brought a lot of joy to my life. It was something I look forward to.
Starks shared custody of 1-year-old Justice. He says the week before her death, she was with her mother, and he went to pick her up just before Thanksgiving.
She was just in like horrible condition. Her nose was down to the pink meat. Fingers had blisters on it. Had like 2 knots on her head. And she was explaining to me that this was hands, mouth, and foot disease.
Starks says he gave Justice's mother the benefit of the doubt, but he did have his concerns.
I didn't want to drop her back off that Sunday. I had her from Wednesday afternoon to Sunday night. That's the last time I seen her.
A text was how Starks found out his daughter fell and had significant brain injury. Detroit police say Justice was left in the care of a non-parent at the time, and her mother said the injuries were accidental.
About the time I got to the hospital, she was just covered in blankets, breathing tubes, ventilator, about like 8 IVs.
Justice was later declared brain dead and passed away on December 1st. The medical examiner has yet to declare the manner of the child's death, but DPD has submitted a warrant request. According to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, it's under review.
She was running around on Thanksgiving, walking from person to person, sitting on my mom's lap, smiling.
We did try to get in contact with the child's mother, but we were only able to reach the grandmother. She says she's devastated by this and she misses her grandbaby, but did not comment on any of the accusations. In Detroit.
Begin tonight with a father's heartbreak and his plea for justice. Good evening. Thank you for joining us here at 11 tonight. I'm Dave Llewellyn. A Detroit man is behind bars, accused of killing 1-year-old Justice Starks while in his care. It is a difficult story we first brought to you last December. The child's father suspected foul play from the beginning and says this arrest is a step toward closure. 7 Action News reporter Alex Blazarjian is joining us in Detroit from the 36th District Court with how prosecutors got to this point.
An autopsy report that we obtained shows that the man charged in this case says he was holding baby Justice Starks when he fell down the stairs. The medical examiner found his explanation to be impossible because of the extent of her injuries, including third-degree burns on one hand.
That hurts a lot. It's painful.
It's been just over 3 months since Jenerius Starks lost his first and only child. Justice died on December 1st, 2 days after allegedly falling down the stairs. At the time, Detroit police told us she had been in the care of a, quote, non-parent.
I received a text just saying that my daughter had lots of brain damage. You can come to the hospital. She's at DMC Children's Hospital.
The text coming from the child's mother, according to Jenerius. They shared custody. After weeks of waiting, he got Justice's autopsy report, which tells a very different story.
A lot of bruising, blunt force trauma, bleeding behind the eye, behind both eyes.
According to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, Leroy Matoyer III assaulted Justice while she was in his care. Jenerius claims the man was his baby mother's boyfriend.
I just can't really imagine. I just can't see how you can do that to any child. Like, what kind of person is that?
We spoke to the child's maternal grandmother. She gave us this statement on behalf of her daughter's attorney, which reads in part, Justice Starks' mother has been working in cooperation with the police and prosecution with one goal in mind: receiving answers and justice for her daughter. Unfortunately, nothing can be done to bring justice back, and no form of retribution will make the family whole again.
I have plenty of plans for my daughter, but I'm not here anymore. So I deal with that the best way I can.
According to the autopsy report, Justice's cause of death was multiple blunt force trauma to the head.
I'm happy Detroit did their job. They was able to make her arrest. And took time, but we got that, and I'm happy with that, but I do feel like some more.
Prosecutors do plan to share more facts and evidence at the preliminary examination on March 20th, but Matoyer is due in court before that on the 13th for a probable cause hearing. In Detroit, I'm Alex Blazarjian.
All right, we are back, and Jason is back in the building, baby. We done found Marno. Look,
right, what up, though?
You need to call him when you go on break to make sure everything all right. We was worried
Everything's
about
fine. Yeah. Don't worry about the children, man. You know what I'm saying? They are trying to put them to bed, so I apologize for that.
Oh, no problem at all. Jason, this is Jenerius Starks, and Jenerius, this is Jason. We always do this in the beginning before we start the show, but like I said, Jason has some things going on. You know, at the end of the day, we are parents, and we still got to do
that part. Absolutely.
It's definitely okay. Not a problem at all. All right, let's jump into this. Now, Jason, you saw the clips because I saw you when you came in, so you was able to see the clips from literally right when I started.
Gotcha.
So Justice, her name was Justice.
Beautiful
Starks.
child. Beautiful child.
Beautiful. Completely beautiful. Jenerius, was this your only child, or do you have other kids?
No, Justice was my only child. She was my only child.
Mm, mm, mm. Okay, so she was your only child. We literally just had another story where the father came on, and it was his only child too, but that was murdered. So my heart goes out to you for that. It definitely goes out. I mean, regardless if you had 10 kids, but I definitely see why you fighting so hard, just as well, because it was your only child. So tell us a little bit about Justice. I know she was only here just for a little bit of time, a year, but tell us a little bit about her. What's some of the fondest memories you have of her?
I'll tell you about her. We had such a big connection because I thought we was a lot alike. Like we was laid back. We never did too much. She enjoyed going out. Like she was very into nature. Like when I took her outside, she liked to mess around with rocks, take rocks, place them in the house, all over the house, stuff like that. Uh, she was sort of kind of young. I was so excited to be a father. I remember just taking her to a bunch of places. Like she just wasn't ready for it. Took her to a little like arcade, like Chuck E. Cheese. She wasn't. She was still young, so she wasn't ready for that. So I took her to a couple Halloween. It was just so everything was so quick, but I always did took her to the movies. Like one of the last movies that we seen was Black Panther. I bought her. She loved popcorn, so I bought her the biggest popcorn, so she'd sit still. She
Oh.
That part, I know that.
movie. The movie was so long that she managed to eat it all with my help, and she kind of started moving around towards the end. So yeah. Uh, Yeah, like everybody liked her, even the guy behind her. When I kind of grabbed her, try to put her back in her seat, he was like, "No, it's fine, it's fine." You know,
Wow. Wow. So I know
and she
she is
just
truly, truly missed.
yeah, she wasn't a busy child. Like she was even at her age, she was so well behaved. Like wherever I was at, she wanted to be at. Like if I was like in another room, she'd go and grab a toy, come and be in my vicinity. She just wanted to be seen. She just wanted to be around you. And, that was pretty much her. Like she loved to eat. She wasn't a picky eater. She ate whatever. So she never
Mhm.
really gave me any hard time. So it was like she was such a great child. Like the daycare, they loved her. She still called me and asked for updates. I actually donated some of her. I had Christmas toys. It happened shortly before that, like her birthday. My birthday on the 24th. Christmas was on the 25th. Hers was on the 27th. So
Wow.
I gave some of her some of her Christmas presents to the daycare. I also had like an in-house trampoline. I gave some of her toys out that she already have and stuff like that. But I basically kept her room as is, still there completely. So
So she had her own room. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, so
yeah, if you look at one of the,
you and her
if you
mom
look,
was not together.
no, no, we broke up.
We can't hear you. Say that
I
again.
said I said we broke up during the pregnancy.
Okay, so you broke up during a pregnancy, but you still decided that you're gonna be a father to Justice. So you've been there since day one. You know, there's no popping in, popping out situation. You've been there since day one. You formed a bond with this little girl, and she will come over, and you have a full bedroom for her.
Yes, if you look at one of the news clips, they actually went around the bedroom. They kind of seven. They did like a little bit of a more thorough job as far as like capturing going around the house. Like she had a play
Okay, so
area
you
that was.
know why it's going in and out like that? Do you have any idea?
I have no clue. No.
Okay, it keep going
Let me
in
see
and
if I
out.
can get a little closer. I said Channel 7 did a little better as far as like just capturing the stuff that I had for her. Like she had a little play area right behind me, as far as with the trampoline and a couple other toys right here. And her room
Okay.
was in the back, right next to my room. Yeah, I pretty much I got her room painted. Got you know what I'm saying. I did a lot of stuff before she got here to get her room ready in my household. So
Okay.
That's
Okay.
perfect.
Now, how often did you have her?
uh, at first, the reason like I didn't always have joint custody. When you're not with a woman, it's like she had too much control. One of the things they said, I didn't have to get a lawyer and all that to go to court, but it was kind of like essential because like I would always have to follow her lead when the court got involved. Even though I didn't like that situation, it kind of set the ground rules and the boundaries as far as like my time is established and stuff like that. So like I was kind of always getting jerked around beforehand, before the court and stuff, like, no, you can't have her this day, no, you can't do this and stuff like that. So so eventually I had 50-50 legal custody, and then I had 1 day during the week, and then I had 3 days the following week. That one thing I wanted to do was, even though that was not that much time as far as equally, it was kind of a little bit more starting off, like far as what they give fathers in the court. I wanted to see her every week, so I kept fighting for that. The first thing they offered was like every other weekend. One thing I wanted is to see her every week, so I fought for that extra day during the week, and then that extra day on the next week. So, and I was actually gonna go back to court. I actually said something to her about it. After that, the first time, she was more focused on trying to, after going to court one time, she was trying to work it out outside the court, but it just really don't work like that. And she had her reasons for that, because it was, what I'm saying, obviously it's kind of like money behind that, so she would rather work this out. So I did give my daughter more than just my schedule time, what I'm saying, depending on her feelings, how she was feeling about me at the moment and stuff like that. So that's why I had to, what I'm saying, I was gonna go back to court, because everything was gonna be off how she feeling and how she feeling towards me at the moment. When this is my daughter, it's about how she feeling. She wanted her dad in her life. So that's
I'm so happy that you are addressing this, Jenerius, because I'm sure you know that you're not the first or the last man that's gonna go through this. When I heard you on another platform, shout out to AFC Podcast. When I heard you on there, you mentioned that it was hard for men, the men that are trying to get their kids in, that want their kids in their life, that want to spend time with them. If mom's not happy with me, I can't get my child whenever I want my child. If mom is happy with me, then I can get my child whenever I want to, And a lot of people don't understand it. They don't understand why these men just walk out and just say, fuck it, I ain't doing nothing. They
yeah.
don't understand it.
That's one thing. Like, I had my kid kind of late. I didn't have my first kid till I was 31. So I always heard stories about how men had to deal with kids, but you can't really judge when women call a man deadbeat. You can't really judge that situation, because you don't know all what he has to go through, as far as like what she's putting him through, all the obstacles and hurdles he's got to jump through to see his child. I mean, even with her though, like, I never wanted to. I didn't fight for full custody. I fought for 50-50. I wanted to be equal. I wanted to be equal parenting, equal choosing what activities. I just wanted to be equal and have equal time with her and stuff like that. And if I would have had that, I believe that this wouldn't have happened. And that's why I feel like where the courts fail at and stuff like that, because they actually got a system set up where I'm at. It was Macomb County, as far as like they believe a father, what he can do during a certain time of the life, like far as like an infant to like 1, far as like 1 to like 5. So they believe a father is kind of limited early on, but it wasn't. I didn't have such a bad experience. Mine was actually kind of accelerated. You know what I'm saying? I had to go. I started off like at 2 hours visitation, stuff like that. And that was kind of horrible. It'd been times when I had 2 hours visitation. She calling me, trying to remind me that my time is almost up. Like, this ain't my daughter. I'm on Father's Day. She at work. You know what I'm saying? You don't get off until past the middle of the night. And you talking about me and you bugging me to drop my daughter back off at your parents' house, trying to cut my time short, trying to make my Father's Day miserable. You know what I'm saying? Calling, arguing with me. You know what I'm saying? Her dad was he was a stand-up guy. He kind of understood it. He was pretty reasonable on the phone. He just cut it short and was like, "Shit, what you want to do?" And then I was like, "Well, this one I'm gonna bring her back." And she's still on the phone talking nonsense and stuff. But you can't get to her. You at work. What's your complaint? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. Exactly. And there's a lot of women that do this. It's a lot of women. Um, I'm a bonus mom. I mean a bonus mom. I have a bonus child. And that's what I call her, my bonus child. So I can somewhat relate to what you're saying, a lot of things that you're saying. Um, me and Pooh, we never talked about it on the show. But I can relate. I can relate. Now, so you and Justice's mother didn't have that type of relationship where she can call you and be like, "Look, I'm finna bring her over for a while. I'm finna go hit the streets. I'm finna go do this." Like you would say yes, but y'all didn't have that relationship to where that would even occur.
like I said, it's all like, man, it's all based on her emotions and how she feeling. You know what I'm saying? There was plenty of times when, you know what I'm saying, I had my daughter for every weekend, you know what I'm saying? And her mom was either worried about giving me break because I had her on extra weekends and stuff, like extra
Okay.
days and stuff. But I didn't mind. She didn't really it would be more like, all right, I know you about to go to work. Let me watch my daughter while you at work. You know what I'm saying? Like I would kind of reach out
Oh,
because I
okay.
know she would kind of be kind of busy during certain times. So I just try to get my daughter during them times, extra time, stuff like that. So
Okay.
she probably called me like once or something, far as like, but no, it was more about me reaching out, asking, far as like, if you got something to do, let me get my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't really call me. I kind of reached out to, you know, to give her a hand, to give her, you know what I'm saying? They ain't really give her a hand. This is my daughter, but if you got something to do, watch her. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. Jason, you got any questions?
No, man, I'm understanding what's happening. You know what I mean? This is probably one of the most perfect sounding co-parenting systems, but I could see how things were getting in the way due to people attitudes, right? I feel like what is being spoken to is just, more along the lines of I like how you reached out. To me, that's what jumped out on the page for me. You know what I'm saying? You reaching out and being more assertive in the fact that you want your daughter. You know what I mean? That to me is beautiful. So
Exactly. Exactly. So we're gonna go into another clip. Um, one of the things that I realized watching these news broadcasting was that they considered the gentleman that beat her as the babysitter. But when I saw this man, I didn't see babysitter. I didn't see nothing about this
Yeah.
man
Yeah.
that's gonna say he got a resume that I'm gonna be a babysitter and can I babysit
No,
your child?
but I had something to say about that. The reason why I keep saying alleged babysitter is because that was the story that was first told. Like full cooperation with the police, yes, now probably, but but it wasn't always like that. Like I was told certain things that like it just wasn't adding up. I was in the hospital and I was saying that this doesn't add up. Why is a man babysitting? Because at first it was a friend of the family and it was a guy. So now I'm wondering, like, all right, why my daughter here? How she get here? And why did she look like this? Why are we under these circumstances right now? Nobody was answering my questions. And then far as like a friend of the family, it's a guy. I definitely didn't understand that. I was like, that don't even make sense. So I began to ask other questions like why is that? To my understanding, she was supposed to take the day off of work. I just had my daughter for 4 days in a row. She wanted to be able to spend time with her, but that wasn't the case. So Somebody went on to work and she gave the baby. Her mama was available. I was available. My mama was available. Everybody was within like 15 to 20 minutes. It wasn't a big driving distance. So I just believe that was something that she chose to do, you know. So
Let's go
uh
back to the day that this occurred. What were you doing when this occurred? Like, how did you get this phone call? What happened?
what I was doing, I was at my girlfriend's house. I was just watching Netflix or something like that. I was watching Netflix and I received a text message just stating that my baby girl, she has lots of brain damage. We at DMC Children's Hospital downtown.
Who did you
Calling
get the
her.
text message from?
It was from my baby mother.
Okay.
And it was pretty much just like that. And then when I got there, I just seen like she was just covered in blankets, tubes on the ventilator, breathing machine stuff. So it was a lot going on as far as when I first walked in there. And I just remember having a lot of questions for everybody in the room. And my questions wasn't getting answered. It was more like I told you before, I think I told you on the phone, they just kind of wanted me to pray. I'm not saying like I told you, I'm not a disbeliever in God. I was I wanted my daughter to pull through so bad too. But when you look like brain dead, that's not neither a coma. You know what I'm saying? That's
no
it's not
response.
it's not a coma is kind of, it wasn't an induced coma. It wasn't a coma that came on from a fall, from a bump in the head. It was brain dead. The brain is not functioning, and it hasn't been functioning for a while. So it was kind of like, so I was just looking at it like in your head, you are like, I kind of had to like I kind of had to come to grasp with that pretty quick, that she probably wasn't going to make it. If you look at the medical term, you pretty much not going to come back from that, unless they made a mistake and you're not actually ever been brain dead. It was just like some mistake they made. And
Exactly.
they kind of wanted me to just to pray and like and stuff like that. And I just had questions like far as like, why is she here? How is she here? Then I was being told friend of the family. I was like, who is this friend of the family? They was telling me that it was how is this a friend of the family? Because at first, like the grandparents were telling me like they don't really know this person. So I'm like, how is this a friend of the family if the grandparents don't really know him? So and then she trying to, yeah, she was, it was just like a bunch of lies. Like she was just saying like it was a friend of the family, but none of it was matching up because the grandparents didn't know who it were. Then it came out like far as on the wall, like the hospital posted like Erica boyfriend with his name. I mean, you know, my baby
Yeah.
mama on the wall stated his name. It was like the boyfriend is restricted. So then that's how I first got it. But the police had already kind of told me at that point, and
So
so I
where
kind
did did you hear that she fell down the stairs like on the news broadcast said? Did they tell you that when you first got to the hospital?
I actually they never told me that story out of their mouth, far as like that side of the family. That's what was told to the police. And when I talked to the police, they basically told me that that was bullshit. Like and like that don't even make sense based off all the injuries that's got going on. Actually, I got pulled in another room. And the police told me like they was asking me like I was wondering why they pulled me in another room and they was asking about her medical history, as far as like hereditary diseases. Has she ever had any like slip and falls? Has she ever when's the last time she injured herself or stuff, just questions like that, because they was about to tell me basically what they told me is like, your daughter came in here for a head injury, and this the cause of this situation, but just a fall down the stairs with somebody holding you can't cause everything that was wrong with my daughter. Like, she had bruises all over her body. I got a bruise chart, it's right next to me, when it was just bruises from everywhere, from her head, from the front of her body to her backside of her body. And it was also a scalping in her head, as far as like hair moving. And I actually seen that. I can get farther into that later. That was actually something old that was going on. And then like even like the blisters, the abrasions on the hands, and then it was other stuff going on before, as far as like she had the same kind of abrasions on the nose that was on the hands. But I was told that was hands, mouth, and foot disease. So but it turned out to be 3rd-degree burns.
When the autopsy came back,
they told me that in the hospital. A medical doctor can look at that. A medical doctor looked at her right there in the hospital and wrote her exam and said that it was child abuse. So that it wasn't due to somebody falling down the stairs and stuff like that. So like they could look that up. A doctor could look at that and tell. But my daughter had hands, mouth, and foot disease before. Not too shortly before that, probably over the summer. This happened towards like the end of the fall. Well, it happened in the winter, but I think I took her to the doctor sometime in the fall for hands, mouth, and foot disease. She had like little small bumps. And it was just explained to me that this case it's a little bit more severe this time. But I was a first-time parent, but I didn't. If you really understand, like, kid is not going to catch hands, mouth, and foot disease back to back like that. It's not going to occur back to back like that. Okay. And I was worried about my daughter. I sat in the house all day, and I just tended to her. And by the end of it, by like after a day, she was like, you could still see like the physical stuff that was going on with her, but she was kind of acting like her normal self. So like the thing that I'm most upset about, how all my hard work, far as like just tending to her over them couple days, getting her back healthy, and then all of it thrown out the door in a matter of just one day. Like, she spent one day with her mom and then she was gone. So that's like so I was with, like, I seen like the scalping of the hair, and I had to like rearrange her ponytail to cover it for Thanksgiving. I got her on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. Her mom told me that she's sick. She just been losing hair. Like, it's all through text messages when I'm asking about the bruises on the hair. I'm like, why does she got what's going on with her forehead? She kind of got like a little mark. I was like, she explained to me like, she's a kid. She's gonna that's what kids do. Like, they bump into stuff. They're gonna hurt themselves. This is just what kids will. And then, so, you know, at the time, I ain't looking for too much of a confrontation, because I don't like it's off. But you know how this court thing is. You know, there's a couple questions they ask. The first thing they can hold against a man as far as his behavior towards a woman, like they can use all that against you in court. And I was already planning on going back to court. So basically, I just explained to her, I was like, look, man, you got to watch her a little bit better. I know she's a baby, but you can't just be letting her mess herself up, because I'm thinking based off what I'm being told. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's all, Doc. It's all in text messages. So,
yeah.
That's good.
What'd you say, Jason?
I was saying that's good that you got it all documented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is necessary, because this is some real, based on what I'm hearing, is very a lot of neglect. You know what I'm saying, from a particular party.
And the whole it was just like, man,
like, you gotta get closer again.
Like, like I was fighting. Like, I didn't know all this was happening to my daughter. So I only can tell you where my mind was at far as like what I wanted. Like I just wanted to be equal. Now, of course, if I know this it would have been full. I'm taking it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But like at the time, like my mind was on, I just want to be equal. I want to co-parent the best way we can and stuff like that. Like she had a lot of loving situations going on when he should have never been a question for for daycare. Like I have a girlfriend too, and she's a nurse. She actually worked at the hospital that well, not the exact hospital. She was at the children's hospital. She works at the Detroit hospital that's like some that's connected to it. But she I I never left her with my daughter. Yeah, she has been in the presence of my daughter, but far as me just leaving my daughter with her, and I didn't do that. And I wouldn't say that because and she gave me positive vibes based off what I heard, you can feel energy and you can tell that this guy wasn't really right for your child. You know what I'm saying?
Baby, you can look at him and tell he wasn't
So,
right.
so I feel like based off what I heard, like you kind of knew like what was going back and forth between them and stuff about her and stuff like that. Like if you just pay attention to the case and look at the news, you start. I talked to the detective. He said it'd be a lot more stuff that I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So, like, as far as my girlfriend, like every time she seen my daughter, she was just so happy. And she always gave me positive energy about being around my daughter, and it just kind of made her day. But like, still, even in that aspect, I still didn't do it. Like, and I can say that
Exactly.
honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just like, and it wasn't because I didn't feel comfortable. One of the reasons I did have, she always told me that she was tired. She worked 12 hours. So that was probably one of the reasons too. Like, I just felt like she was tired. I got a 1-year-old daughter. I just want somebody a little bit more up and attentive and stuff like that. But like,
Exactly.
she always gave me like, far as like being around, she always gave me positive energy. She all I took her to her son's birthday party. They was around each other and stuff like that. So like what basically what I'm saying, like you can feel like people that means good for you and your family as far as because
Exactly.
like it's just too much back and forth about unnecessary stuff. Like you can like I'm not gonna leave nobody with my daughter that got problems with her. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yep.
It's pretty much self-explanatory. But like
And y'all are going to see what this guy looks like. Okay. We do have the news broadcast. And I'm telling you, when you see him, you're gonna be like, he can't keep it mad.
yeah,
Now,
they keep
Jenerius, when me and you spoke about this, one of the things that threw me back, and when I tell y'all threw me all the way back, was that this was her only child too, correct?
yes, it was her only child. It was her only child. But it was I feel like we was together for a short period of time. And the reason why we kind of broke up because I guess she was unhappy. Uh in a way I was unhappy too. You know what I'm saying? But for the sake like I was just about to have a daughter. So, I was kind of like willing to work it out. You know what I'm saying? So but for her to be like you still like what I told you before, like for you to even you left and you was basically still unhappy because for this to happen to your daughter and you to put her in this position, like you couldn't have been happy and did this. Like it was nothing like and y'all gonna see that like you were still like going through stuff, unhappy, depressed, you know what I'm saying? So like what I was supposed to wake up every day and try to figure out a way to make you happy at what sacrifice of my own of myself. You
Yeah,
know
you
what
would
I'm
be
saying?
sacrificing a lot of you to do that.
You know what I'm saying? So like I was probably never going as far as that. But we was together for about I actually met her a long time ago. We was together for about off and on for about like 2 years or something like that.
Over
She
two
was
years.
she stayed with me for a short period. It was during the COVID time and stuff like that. And I met her in school. I went to Eastern Michigan. So That was like years back, way back.
Okay. Okay. But y'all had a good relationship though. Besides,
From what it sounds like, a little bit.
yeah. Like
Far as
y'all
what?
lived together.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't always all bad. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
always all bad, but it was just like one of the things that I noticed though, like as far as just like relationship period, like when stuff going back, it was just like no communication. So it was just like two adults living in the same place, moving around the
Mhm.
same space, dealing with their problems as individuals. And when it was we wasn't really communicating, and she didn't really know how to communicate either because she said I came off as too direct and aggressive. I mean, like something, but I wasn't like how I'm talking is how I'll be talking to her. But like, I guess she just thought basically I was too direct. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I understand. I understand. Let's get
Yeah.
into some of these comments, okay? Veronica says, "Baby girl, I'm praying, definitely praying morning, day, and night that you, daddy, and family get justice y'all deserve." Um, Carmen says, "Why is she letting a man keep her baby? Boyfriend shouldn't be babysitting babies. If the father can't get but limited visitation, how do you trust a boyfriend?"
Hey, I never actually thought about that, but when you think about it that way, come on now, like that make it even worse when you put it in that perspective. Like
It
you know what
does.
I'm
Mhm.
saying? So yeah, I'm sitting up here in the limit, and mind you all, like I never miss a scheduled time with my daughter, and I don't even like the word visitations because I was never a visitor in my daughter's life. I was a dad. I was a father. So
Exactly.
when they say visitations, I don't like that because even when they use that in court, like I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that's why I was fighting for equal time to be an equal, and that's all I want. Now, like I said, stuff would have been different if I would have already knew. And like sometimes I think back about what I could have done, like when I had kind of seen signs, but like I didn't think she was like I didn't think like it was like this. Like who could imagine this? Like I sit up and watch the news all the time. Like damn, that shit crazy. And now I'm in the whole
So
movie,
now
and
you in it,
this is me
right?
and my family, and you know what I'm saying? It's like you never think like that kind of stuff can, like you can be involved in some stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like where it can touch so close to home.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Excuse me. So you talk about family. That was your dad with you in the news broadcasting clips?
That was my granddad.
That was your granddad.
Hmm.
You know, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Granddaddy could have been like, "I ain't got time for this. Go and do that on your own." So that lets you know that your family was behind you 100%. That
Yeah,
this baby did not need a babysitter.
yeah. My
Then
mom was
she
good.
had family.
Who? Oh
The
yeah,
baby.
you, t-
Justice.
you yeah. She had family. She knows that. That's why another reason why I just don't understand it. Even from over there on that side, like it was people that could have watched her. So for her to be in that guy's care, it was just really never a it was never an option that made any sense. Like that's the only thing. Like I want to get in her head to like try to process that to figure out how did she go about processing that and feeling like that was cool and all right, especially when other people was available for that day and offered to have her that day,
Because she was just
and
going to work, you said, right?
you said no, and it wasn't like one of these last minute things. Even if that's the case, I'm coming to get my daughter. You don't need, but that wasn't even it. Like you chose this. Like this was obviously not the first time either for you to be just be so cool with it too. Like it didn't. So
Yeah. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna play this last clip, and when we come back, because this is the video that I have that you all will actually see what this. I don't even know what to call this thing, but what he look like. Okay, you're gonna see what he look like. Now, I know a lot of people are wondering, Jenerius, and I want you to answer this when we come back after we play this clip. Have you talked to Justice's mother since this has happened, and what have you asked her? So here we go.
Just nervous, restless. It was a long way.
The father of 1-year-old Justice Starks revealing all of his emotions as he waited since last November to hear an arrest has been made and the brutal death of his baby girl.
I was happy justice was served and we finally got an arrest.
The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office says 37-year-old Leroy Matoyer III has been charged with 1 count of felony murder and 1 count of first-degree child abuse. He was arraigned and remanded to jail on Saturday.
What is your message to this person who's been arrested?
I just don't understand that kind of type of behavior towards her. I don't understand how any adult can do that.
Prosecutors say the 37-year-old was babysitting Justice when he assaulted her. The child was treated at a nearby hospital for her injuries, but passed away a few days later.
I get a phone call. My daughter's in the hospital, brain dead.
The cause of death was multiple blunt force trauma to the head. On Monday, Starks went to pick up the medical examiner's report.
Her brain was swollen, covered in blood. With several bruises. They got a bruise chart. There's pretty much bruises all over her body.
Stark says what's also upsetting is that the suspect is being called a babysitter when he learned during the investigation that he is a friend of the child's mother.
I hired a babysitter, and what God wasn't no babysitter. It was her boyfriend. It wasn't even a situation where he should ever be caring for my daughter. She had babies, she had grandparents, she had me. It was available people that loved her.
Fox 2 reached out to the attorney for the mother of Justice, and she did not want to speak on camera, but her attorney says she has been working with authorities to get an arrest. Her attorney also released a statement which reads in part, "Unfortunately, nothing can be done to bring Justice back, and no form of retribution will make this family whole again. At this time, the family is happy to see that the initial steps toward receiving answers and justice for Justice have been taken." Detroit police also tell Fox 2 that this case has been wrapped up with this arrest. But this father believes additional answers are needed. But for now, he leans on family like his grandfather for support.
I just think, it's more to the story. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm fighting for.
In Pontiac, Ingrid Kelly.
All right. Yes, he tortured that baby, that poor baby Justice. Now, have you talked to her over the phone? Have you asked her? Have you sat down with her and said, what the hell happened? What has happened to our baby? Have you talked to her, Jenerius?
I mean, I talked to her pretty much when we was talking, it was never really about anything as far as what happened to her. It was kind of always, it was kind of about nonsense. And then, but I did talk to her one time, and she kind of told me she was scared. I think that's what they claimed. And then one thing, they kind of got mad as far as me doing stuff like this, as far as doing a podcast, being on the news or something. That wasn't some of the stuff I was most comfortable with, but I felt like it was necessary. And I felt like if the shoe was on the other foot, they most definitely would be blasting me out here. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? So I know that for a fact. And then the only reason for things to be the way it is just because how you might lie in that particular situation. If it was under other circumstances,
right,
you might be doing it a little different. But you know what I'm saying? So it's just the lawyer reached out to me one time and stuff like that. And he basically tried to tell me the same thing that he tried to tell me. He tried to make it seem like he agreed with some of the stuff that I said. And then he actually stated to me that he defended her brother before or something like that. So basically, you know what I'm saying? It's all right, you you got a lawyer putting out a statement, and he's a criminal lawyer. So it's like, what is this? And I am looking for other answers, because like the time I had with my daughter shortly before, like that stuff was barely explained to me besides hands, mouth, and foot disease, and that a kid gonna be a kid. And that's basically what I was getting. And I feel like it needs to be dug deeper. And like I said, I have talks, and you know what I'm saying, it's a lot. It's like, I'm not gonna sit here and just say I know all the answers. Like, I have talked to him, and I'm just waiting. I just got a call back from the prosecutor. She reached out to me, let me know the official court dates and stuff like that. So that's basically
Do
where we at.
you feel, and this might be something that you may have to think about before you answer it. Do you feel like she is defending him, or she's scared that she can get into some trouble as well?
I mean, did you hear everything I just said? It's an attorney saying that we don't want to give a. He basically said, like, it's, if you got a lawyer don't want you to talk because he don't want you to incriminate yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Or not even like incriminate yourself, or like he basically explained to me like, if you were innocent, you could still say something that may incriminate yourself. You know, stuff. That's how he
Yes.
that's how he put it to me. So it's just like, and like I don't.
You don't
Like,
know.
like I don't know. I do feel like I feel like it's way more to the story. I feel like she didn't have to be gone. I feel like you could have dealt with that situation all by yourself. You ain't even had to put my daughter in it. So just from that standpoint alone, like I feel like that's enough right there. You went out your way to do this. Like
Right.
the lady said before, I was on limited visits, and you got him with her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what Carmen
And
said.
then based off like the other investigation, after what I heard, it's like, why was he even
There.
Why was he even an option? Based off what I already heard, that you probably gonna hear in like news clips later on anyway.
Mhm.
Like based off what I already heard, like why was he even an option? Like why? You know what I'm saying? Like especially after I put all that time and effort into my daughter and made sure she was right, healing something that I didn't know what was really going on. I didn't even know the cause of these injuries, like the burns that was on the nose or the abrasion. Like I completely healed that, but that looked real, but I got pictures of all this in my cell phone. I
You
sent
make
all
sure you
I,
keep
I
everything.
kept all of it. I sent it all to them. I emailed it in, let them take it. They got everything that they need. A little bit more. I still got the cell phone. So like just with that stuff alone, I just feel like it's more answers. It's like
Right.
it's more than just like, of course, this dude just being arrested. Yeah, I'm I'm happy for that aspect, but you just look at it like it took 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It took an autopsy for them to make her arrest. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of moms out there, and then I seen a lot. Like I told you before, I see a lot of people struggle with raising kids just because like the work and far as like daycare expensive. Like that stuff is really expensive. Like I had to pay for daycare when I went to work, and like and not only is that I pay for daycare, but in my child support, it also included like a small portion of her daycare. You know what I'm saying? Like it was my child support, and then on top of that, they made me pay a little bit of her daycare. So then
Wow.
so then and then over that, we had some like free we she had a mother, she had a father, she had a grandmother. I had a mother. You know what I'm saying? I had a grandmother, and these is all people that have made their time available to watch her, and then some of them even offered it on that day that it
Right.
happens. So
That's
that
crazy.
that spoke to her, and you said no, and you did otherwise, and that's why it's like with me. That's why I'm feeling a certain type of way. I'm like, man, it was other options, and then basically like it's like the only reason why I kind of know so much. Because the cops, man, he looked at me in the hospital and he felt so bad for me. Because I ain't know. He looked at me in my face And he was like, because I thought it happened in Pontiac or something like that, because that's kind of what I was heard. He was like, damn, man. he was
For
just like,
real.
we picked her up in Detroit, man. It's looking like a boyfriend according to text messages, man. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, and then it's like at the scene, we was told that you wasn't even in your daughter's life. You know, stuff like that. So, you know,
Wow.
so and just based off like the police had to like tell me like you know what I'm saying, kind of he didn't tell me like everything or nothing like that, but he kind of like told me like then in the hospital, the first like the care workers, they basically told me that the incident was flagged immediately when they picked her up from the house. Like they could tell just the paramedics, they could tell it wasn't just from no slip and fall. Like it was
Right.
instantly flagged. And they basically kind of like dragged me out the room into a separate room and basically kind of let me know. And then that's when I got to showing them. Then I'm like, what? And that's when I got to showing them pictures over Thanksgiving, a couple days before how I got my daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So,
Because you said you had your daughter 4 days straight.
yeah, I
4 days straight.
had her from Wednesday to Sunday.
And
And
then she go back home just for 1 day.
she had her for Monday, and she was in the hospital on Tuesday.
My heart sure goes out to you completely. This is just
This is
sad,
crazy.
y'all.
This is
It
really sad.
is.
Yeah.
You know, and I just can't get over the fact that this is her only child. When
Right.
you
The
have
Bobby
just one child, as a mother and as a father, you're gonna do all you can to protect that one child.
the
Just like
bomb is
I
dropped for
remember
me.
the commercial when
Yeah,
they
I mean
had
that's
the
the
baby
thing
and
with
the mother had the child, and she had the first child, and she wouldn't let nobody hold the child. But then when she had the second child, the people at the mechanics was holding the baby for her. You know what I'm saying? Like your one and only child is your everything. Everything.
It was another girl. What made this? It was another girl that out in Michigan. It was a young girl. She had a son. She had her friend was babysitting her son. The girl if you look up my story, you will see her name right underneath my story.
Right.
Her last name was Starks. And we got the same name, but we not related at all. I never met this girl in my life. But the babysitter killed her son. She sent this story to me. Like took the screenshot it or took like the address and sent it to me and had sent it to me. It's like, yeah, basically you got to watch who you have your kids around. You know
I
what I'm
know
saying?
exactly what story you're talking about too.
Kind of telling me to like watch who I have my kids around, who I have her around, because people is doing, you know what I'm saying? Like people don't mean well for everybody don't mean well for your kids. So she was basically trying to talk to me, and then we end up here. You know what I'm saying? I seen the text messages too. How she sent me that email. It was like, send me that. It was
Yeah,
like,
and I know what story you're talking about because, like you said, as soon as you pull up your name and his stories pop up, that story pops up as well because it has the same last name. You are right. Well, what we're gonna do, Jenerius, we're gonna get into the tribute. We're gonna get into the tribute. When we come back, after the tribute, we are going to go into a little bit more of these questions. Well, not questions, but comments. And we'll be right back. So here go the tribute, y'all. Jenerius, this is for you. I hope that you keep it forever. After this interview, I will be emailing it to you so that you can keep it. You can do whatever you want to do with it. It is yours, okay? Here we go.
All I hear is raindrops falling from a rooftop. Oh, baby, tell me why'd you have to go? 'Cause this pain I feel it won't go away. And today I'm officially missing you. I thought that from this heartache I could escape, but I've run it long enough to know there ain't no And today I'm officially missing you. Ooh, can nobody do me like you? I said every little thing you do. Hey baby, say it stays on my mind. And officially, it's official. Ooh, you know that I'm missing you, yeah, yeah, yeah. All I hear is raindrops. Ooh, yeah, and I'm officially missing you.
All right, Jenerius, that is for you. I will email it to you after the show tonight. Jason, I got to go to you. I got to go to you. You have three beautiful girls. Three beautiful girls. How is this making you feel right now?
It's extremely sad. First and foremost, um, what hurts the most is because I've been in this position once, but not as deep. Like like the miscommunication or non-communication between you and the mother. I've been in that space once before, right? But we made sure that all communication about our child was loud and clear. Like there was no misunderstanding. No one would watch my daughter but me. If my parents were around, if my mom was around, then we'd make that happen too. But what just threw me for a loop, man, is hearing the story, but then also hearing you say, like, man, even people of your family reached out to her that day to, take their granddaughter, their niece, their, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever that may have been, someone was available in that family to do so, but yet the mother was on something else. I don't know why. That's just something that she's gonna have to live with. You feel me? And I wish that there was a clear, precise answer for you, Jay. Like I really do, because if you guys went through all the things that you're supposed to do as a man and as a family man, like there's no other things to be said. Like you can only do so much until the other partner don't want to pay attention or not hold up their end of the bargain, right? Because that's what it sounded like. It's like she wasn't holding up her end of the bargain, which is extremely tough.
Yeah, we discussed it, certain things like that.
We can't hear you.
I said we discussed it as far as like not letting other people watch the kids, but obviously, she from this incident, she just chose to do her own thing. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. She went and did her own right. Yeah.
Because we both kind of came to that agreement. At least we would beat that person and stuff like that. And it wasn't really, and as far as leaving the kid, we never really discussed that because that was pretty much just like kind of off the table. But as far as like you being around a person and my daughter being around that because of you, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna meet that guy and vice versa, far as
There you
me.
go. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Did she meet your girlfriend?
Nah, she didn't meet my
No.
girlfriend.
I have two kids. I have a son and a daughter. And just like you all, no one watches my kids. I have a friend that watches my kids one time, maybe twice. But other than that, my parents, they watch them. That's it. So this really, really struck me when I heard this story. Again, my heart went out to Jenerius because you don't see too many men on the forefront. When I talked to Jenerius on the phone, Jenerius told me they don't like that I'm doing the news broadcast. They don't like that I'm doing the podcast, you know. But he's still saying this is for my daughter. This ain't for y'all. This is for my baby. You know what I'm saying? And he's bringing awareness to other families just as well.
Well,
Who
you know
feel
what it
like
is
it's
too,
okay to
man.
leave their kids. Go ahead,
Well, you know
Jason.
what it is too is that he's showing a side of the story that a lot of people fail to see that there's some not I don't want to say it like this, but it might come off wrong. Like sometimes there's just unfit mothers in some spaces in the negotiation or the talking of children watching and all. But it's like he's like, look, here's my side of the story, because we never really get to see the father side of the story on how he is always there, how he's always trying to be the first go-to, that kind of I'm the first option, like let me be the first option.
Like I did so much research, like far as like when I went to court, like far as like not even help my own lawyer out. Like there's certain laws I forgot. Like I screenshotted it, but it was just like even like if somebody on that family want to watch her, if you actually got to go to work, like, I still have first right outside of my time to babysit my daughter.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
I forgot the specific code or what law is that, but that's out here in Michigan. Uh, but like I said, though, I wasn't trying to like I had no problem with her grandmother, which is her mom, watching my daughter. Like she did a good job. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So like I'm not just out here bashing, but I know how things would be if if I put justice in this situation. Like I would be getting blasted. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you know like.
that's the part.
Like somebody people don't want to be seen is because like where the situation lies at. You know what I'm saying? Like where you at in it. You know what I'm saying? As far as like how you involved and like potential or other stuff happening. So it's like that's I have nothing to hide. You know what I'm
There it
saying?
is.
That's why I'm out here. And that's why I'm fighting for my daughter.
Hey man,
Like I said, and like I ain't like it like and I ain't mad at like I am mad at a couple motherfuckers over there because like I feel like people not really holding them accountable. I feel, but that happened with like a lot of women though. You know what I'm saying? Like my own family will be cussing me out if I put my daughter in this situation. They probably will not be fucking with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I love that you're not allowing her to be bashed, and that's not where I'm coming from either. Like I don't even think our platform is coming from that
it's not
space.
even a bad because it was some guy that caught wind of the story not too long ago. Somebody had sent me something on YouTube. He said something about he had if you go look on there, he had my face, he had the dude face, he had my daughter over here, and he had little bubbles coming from our face. And from my face, it was like my baby mama alienating me while she I forgot
Oh
what he
wow,
said. And then from
yeah.
his face, it said like your baby mama got good pussy or something like that.
Oh
Then
my God.
out of her mouth, it said that black mothers are like bad, horrible, or something like that. And like,
Sure.
but I'm not even complete. Like what I'm mad about, I don't care about what he did to my face. You know what I'm saying? It's just like why you had to put a bubble from my daughter. You know
That
what I'm
part.
saying?
Exactly.
That part.
It's like I understand where the internet at nowadays, but you know what I'm saying. So it's like so you ain't just leave my daughter out of it. But like I had wrote on there, told him to take that shit down. I ain't really after I had watched it. He kind of switched everything up after I had wrote on there. That's what it looked like. But
And there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with you doing that, Jenerius. Jenerius reached out to me. He ain't like how I did the thumbnail because I put rest in peace, but it was rest in peace with blood.
It was like rest in peace with blood. And I, you know,
Exactly.
I'm trying to remember my daughter. Like it's it's not some horror story or nothing. I mean,
Yep.
it's like
Sure
it's about
story, man.
awareness. Like I love my daughter. Like I don't want her to be seen like that. Like if I were to get a shirt made, I would like
I completely understand.
it was just like the visual. Like this is something that's gonna stay on the internet. I just
Yeah.
so.
And when he reached out to me, y'all, and he told me that he's right here, I was like, okay, I will take it down right now. You know, I had never had nobody come to me and tell me nothing like that before. I was like, oh shit, but at the same time, it's about respecting our guests just as well.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, whatever they want, they get when it comes to peachy tea time. It's that simple. You know, because they didn't have to take time to come on here. They did not. So I applaud you for standing your ground. I applaud you for standing your ground as far as with the news broadcastings and the podcast and all that. Keep putting your daughter name out there. Keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's bringing awareness. That's what it's doing. You can be helping somebody
Yeah,
that's
that's
going
the
through
reason why
this.
I'm doing it too, because like it's just horrible out here as far as like the men, as far as like the system. But but that's what I'm saying. Like you got to think like that's horrible for me to look toward a system that don't necessarily benefit me and try to make it work in my favor. Like to really have to lean on a system that don't really benefit us, you know, as a
It
whole.
don't.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like it was better when they it wasn't really what all I wanted, but it was like I didn't have to hit her up and be like, all right, I want to get her on this day. It was kind of like all established. Now outside of that, you know, I kind of still did that. Like, hey, you going to work? I get her. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm got something else I want to do this weekend with her. You know what I'm saying? I can get her this weekend too. So like I always did that kind of stuff. But I just didn't want to have to like, you know, to constantly ask somebody for like my own daughter and like always need permission. Like I had just as much right far as like religion, school, doctors, all that kind of stuff. But I still was trying to let her be a mother. Like if you want to choose this doctor's office, all right, I trust you. I'm not gonna sit here and argue about every little thing with you and go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Because it's something. It's about picking battles and stuff like that. Like I'm not. All right, I'm not gonna argue about this doctor. You pick this doctor. All right, as long as it's not like you not deliberately pick the doctor's office that's 2 hours away from you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The doctor's office is probably like 5, 10 minutes away. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna. I'm not petty or nothing. I'm not gonna sit there and argue down about every little thing. I just wanted to make sure that my voice will be heard as far as in my daughter's life and
I love that, man.
far
I
as my
love it.
rights. As far as my rights. Like it
To
was
me, I've been with my husband since I was 18 years old. 18, 19. I'm 43 years old right now. We've never broken up, anything like that. We have struggled. We have went through a lot of different challenges in our relationship and marriage and everything. To me, like I told you, Jenerius, when I talked to you over the phone, I kept telling you, it don't seem like it was that bad. You know what I'm saying? It's to me, it sounds like y'all could have worked. You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds like you wanted your time with her. She wanted her time with her. You know, we're gonna take out the boyfriend. Let's just take him completely out the picture. It seemed like both of y'all was the challenge that y'all had was that both of y'all wanted her. You
the
know what I'm
reason why.
saying?
Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. I still feel like it could have worked. 'Cause like I said, like I see so many people. Like I said, people really be crunched with far as like working and trying to find, you know, just raising a kid constantly put you in a jam till they get to a certain age. Like that's one thing that we didn't have to really have to worry about. I chose to put my daughter in daycare, but I was using my mom. You know what I'm saying? But to take some of the burden off my mom, I did go to put her in daycare, and she also had her mother. She had grandparents and stuff like that. So like you know, like my like if I was on some bull, like my daughter's gonna be like completely out of that. If you want to be in that relationship and you want to get treated a certain kind of way, just leave my daughter on it. Like me and my girlfriend, we live in separate places. I got my own house, she got her own house. So like I didn't have like majority of the time I could be at her house all week. But as soon as I get my daughter, I'm going back to my house.
Yeah.
Now they did see each other, you know what I'm saying? But like I
Yeah.
just didn't have my daughter posted up there all the time. Like I got my daughter got her own room. I want her to experience my house with her bedroom. Like I wish I could drag this laptop in there and show you her bedroom.
I
Like I
wish
got the
you
walls
would.
painted, dressers, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Shoes, clothes, toys, you know what I'm saying? Pictures, you know what I'm saying? Like I did the whole nine. So it was like I didn't I I didn't do that. I ain't had like yeah, she didn't meet my girl, but it wasn't like I just had my daughter over there all the time. Like I swear, most of the time, like I would just go home because I just wanted to spend my time with my daughter. Like you know what
Just
I'm
you and her.
saying? Yeah. So I just and it was times when like people was mad. Like I had my daughter like probably like 4 weekends in a row. They'd be like, damn, bro, I ain't really care. 'Cause I had just finished the court battle. She was just telling me I had to wait to see my daughter to whatever the court decide, stuff like that. And yeah, so
It's so
that's
unfortunate.
that's basically what she told me. She was gonna let the
Yeah,
system choose when I get to see. But if you ask me, it kind of worked out a little bit. I was eventually going from that standpoint going farther. If you just look at the numbers, it would have constantly got better for me because it kind of went like, a little good for me during uh
the
during the
court
initial.
case.
Even though it wasn't exactly what I wanted, my lawyer he basically explained to me like it's just a process. You know what I'm saying? I always showed up. Like I never missed a day. You know what I'm saying? I was tired. I remember on the 2 hour visitation, I would just really. It was a couple restaurants down the street from our house. Like them people knew me every Tuesday or Wednesday, what it was. I would just take her to a restaurant and we would eat, and then I would take her
Oh,
to the Target, and then I would buy a toy, let her pick out a toy and stuff like that, and then she come over on the weekend and stuff. She'd play with that.
okay. Now, where do we go from here? Because we're now at the end of the show. Um, he is locked up. We all saw that he is locked up now. So where do Jenerius go from here?
Uh, I'm gonna keep doing me. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna fight anytime I get a chance to. Or I'm gonna continue to do what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I gotta. They told me it's gonna be something on the 30th, like whatever, just the court date, so I'm gonna be there. And then,
Definitely.
yeah, but I'm just gonna keep doing me. That's all I can say. It ain't nothing else to do. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Do you think that in a situation like this that you would possibly seek some type of counseling to help you get through this, or you feel like you got it?
I mean, I got it for the most part. I do. I did go initially.
Okay.
I went a couple days. Uh, I'll be going back, but that's more just like people. I think everybody. It's nothing wrong with going with counsel. Like I'll probably just go back for like the dialogue. As far as like I'll be going back. I just haven't
Yeah,
been right now.
I get it. There's
I
nothing
don't.
wrong with it at all.
Yeah.
When I lost my son, I had to go to counseling. I'm not going now, but sometimes I be thinking I need to go back. But there's nothing wrong with it at all. It definitely helps. It helps starts the healing process just as well. This is not easy. It's not easy losing a child at all whatsoever.
Because
You
it's
know
not. It's not natural. It's not the natural order of things. And what be
exactly.
surprised about how young she is. One thing I noticed, like so soon, is like, all right, even though like I was getting all the love at first, like you kind of stuck in it, but everything around you gonna keep moving, and like so you gotta be strong in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like so, it's pretty much like everything gonna keep going. Like you still gotta keep doing what you gotta do. Like I still gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like I still got bills, you know what I'm saying? I still got friends, I still got family. And so like
Exactly.
it's still
Now I gotta ask you this before we go. Um, you said you got a girlfriend. You're looking a little fly over there and everything. You look a little fly. Now, will this tragedy, do you think this tragedy will stop you in the future for having kids? Like, will this like really shake you and be like, I'm not messing with it no more. I ain't dealing with it. I'm done.
it's just like
We can't hear you.
uh no, it won't stop me from like having kids, but what it will stop me from is like and being more aware of like the red flags as far as dealing with women. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't say like it was completely no real flags with her being stubborn and doing the certain stuff that she was doing. Like it was red flags, but I didn't know like it was gonna be like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna definitely pay attention more and just go with my first intuition, my instincts and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I that's why I ain't gonna like when you start dealing with certain stuff, I'm not gonna be dealing with certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get we get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down, my friend.
I picking it up too, damn it. I picking it up too. You know, and that's something that we do talk about over here at Peachy Tea Time too, is getting to know these people that you're dating, you know, before you get into those situations to where you're having sex, to where you're having kids, all that. Be aware of the person that you're dating. If you have to do background checks, shit, do a background check. You know what I'm saying? But first and foremost, don't leave your kids with them. I don't care if it's the woman or the man. Leave your kids with their biological parent, their biological grandparents, or their biological friends. God damn it, I would say biological friends, the ones that you can really trust. Okay,
yeah,
those people.
you don't really know somebody until you like experience them and like I kind of heard this before. It's like every season in life, like when they up, down, you know, things not going so good. Because that's basically how it was. It was just like, yeah, things were good when it was good, but when stuff is not going so good, it's like, all right, this is how you're gonna act. It was sometimes where like I couldn't even figure out why somebody mad at me. You know what I'm saying? What you got attitude for? I ain't do nothing to you.
You didn't say nothing,
You
right?
know what I'm saying? So it's just like
Yeah. And you know, my heart goes out to her just as well. If she is watching, my heart goes out to you just as well. I'm more than sure that she did not know on the day that she left her baby there, she did not know that she wasn't gonna see her child again. I'm sure of that. You know, but you have to watch the red flags.
we'll find out.
This man didn't just wake up one day and say, I'm finna kill this 1-year-old baby. I'm finna beat her to death. No, he did not. It had to been some type of red flags that she saw.
Yeah, it was like basically it was red flags from what I heard as far as like I wouldn't listen to nobody say about you don't understand my daughter. Like I'm a very the reason why we bonded and clicked is so like I'm very laid back. I never like I'm a laid back person. My daughter was kind of like a laid back child. Yeah, she moved around, but like I had a nephew that would, you know what I'm saying? He would come down the stairs like Tarzan, like wing around. She would just sit there and be like, this
Like,
goes
what
on.
the hell wrong with him?
She would do that. She wouldn't do nothing. She wouldn't do it. Like she, she would do a little bit after she see him do it, and I would let her do it because like she never really acted like that. So when she did get around other kids and she kind of wanted to act like that a little bit with her, I would kind of let her because I wanted her to be a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like so it's like
Yeah,
when she
what
wanted
you trying to say
she
is,
started
Jenerius,
climbing
she
when she
wasn't no
climbed on it.
badass kid.
Like she wasn't climbing on the couches at the crib, but if she was an other kid doing it and I see it and they doing it together, I go ahead
Oh,
and
yeah,
let
right.
Yeah.
let her do it because she's not really, you know what I'm saying? Like she was just perfect to me. You know what I'm saying? So
Like, you literally have, I think what Jenerius is trying to say, y'all, is that he has no idea how this could have happened because she's not a bad kid. She's not one of them kids that you just got to keep saying, sit down, stop. Didn't I say stop that? Stop,
yeah,
go sit down, go to bed. She
like
wasn't like that. At
like
1 years old, she was not like that. That's what he's trying to get us to understand. Like, he has no idea what could have made this man snap.
she
Because she
didn't
wasn't
cry
bad. She was
about
laid back.
she didn't cry about going to sleep. I would put her
We can't hear
in
you.
bed. I said like she didn't like she just listened like I I wouldn't even tell her with a crash that I hand her something and be like, throw this away. She'd go straight to that. I'd be like, just to test her. And then she ended up doing it because she was only like one. Like she actually go walk from like the living room all the way to the kitchen and just to go throw something away. Or like if I told her to lay down, she'd just lay down. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
so like she never really gave me I, she never really gave nobody a hard time. Only time she gave somebody a hard time is when she seen me leaving. She did not like to see me go, and that was the only time. But then she got used to that, as far as like having to use babysitters for when I went to work. You know what I'm saying? So like I had to drop her off at my mom's in the morning, as far as like daycare and stuff like that. But she didn't even do bad at daycare the very first time. She seen the other kids and she was cool with that.
Being a person that has two kids and being a person like Jason that has three kids, I'm sure Jason can relate to me when I say them firstborns, baby, them something different. Them firstborns is something different from that second and third child. Cause they so laid back, they so cool. It's like they just happy to be here. They happy to get spoiled and they happy to be loved.
That
And
part,
we gonna do
yeah.
whatever we can just to be happy and love and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I firmly believe you when you say that she was laid back. She was not a bad child at all. And I know she was getting nothing but love coming from both families. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So again, is there anything, Jenerius, that you would like to say before we end this broadcast? You know I want you to come back now. You know I want you to come back one day in the future,
Yeah,
you know,
I
to
thought
give
we
us
was,
an update.
I thought we was gonna like talk about as far as like the system, just giving men more of a thing. Like I'm not a woman basher or nothing about like that, but I just you know what I'm saying like I just give men more of a chance. Don't stereotype man as a group. Look at every situation for its own. Like like I was more incapable of being more of an equal to parenting time. I do believe like eventually I was gonna get that, but I never got the chance to continue to fight that battle. And, that too, and just like being more aware of your kids and far as like when you is in these split relationships and co-parenting, it's not really the best situation to raise a kid. You gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So co-parenting what it is what it is. So you know, just be more cautious about who you having kids with and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. One thing we advocate over here is marriage. We definitely advocate for marriage over here. Not saying that that's the perfect thing, because that can happen in a marriage just as well, you know. But that's just something that we advocate for. We advocate for these background checks. Make sure that you are knowing who you are around, who you having your kids around. I remember back in the day, it would take months before some women would even bring their boyfriends around their kids. You know what I'm saying? They going over to their house all the time. You
Well,
know, it's
I
like the
just feel
era has changed.
like I was just telling my homegirl. Honestly, I just feel like y'all area is more advanced than us anyway. You know what I'm saying?
We can't hear you.
I just feel like y'all, like your area, as far as like y'all age group, it's like when y'all was our age, y'all was more of adults than us. That's how we are right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like as far as like my mom, like it just seemed like they were more like, you know what I'm saying, like
Hmm.
more
More responsible.
more responsible and all that stuff. So yeah, like my mom never left me with a man or nothing like that. And was like, here, you're babysitting or nothing like that. I seen people that's less fortunate don't even do that. So
Yeah.
that's like the whole thing where I'm just like I just don't understand it. Like just from like everything that we had. When you say it seemed like it should have worked. Yeah, it should have worked. It wasn't the best situation. Like soon as I got where I needed to be and I was gonna show her like I'm not trying to take her away from you. I just want to be equal and where I can have equal here, say, you know what I'm saying? That was gonna be it. Like I ain't really argue with her because I already knew what I was going to do. I can't be arguing with you because I'm going back to court. I ain't about to have you put up no text messages on me. You ain't about to be. It's one of the things. They keep asking, every time you go to court, they always ask her, has he threatened you? Has it been any kind of violence?
That's a damn shame.
Do he seem dangerous? These are the same questions they ask him like 2 or 3 times in the court here to try to get anything up out of him. Damn near tempting to lie. They ask you so many times.
So how did you feel as far as the system wise? How did you feel, as far as getting the custody? What did the custody that you did get? Do you feel like they failed you? Like, or they just didn't give a fuck?
I don't know. We never went to court. We did. We had a mediator. We kept. They offered something at first. It's crazy. They have you try to sign off through your email now. And stuff like that. They offered something at first. I just didn't sign it. I told my lawyer I didn't want that. We went back. We ended up going back. We asked for something else. Basically, how I got what I got, the mediator basically was like, he's asking for this, and you're trying to say no. I was like, she was basically like, what's your problem? You actually have an issue with this. You basically have an issue with the father being in. So that's basically how I got that. And then, I was basically even told like, because it was all of, it's all about money. That's all it's about.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So basically a woman would try to keep it. It was about me seeing my daughter least as possible and paying the max amount of child support. When I talked to her about that, she was all set for that. Then she was looking kind of salty when it ended up being what it was. When I ended up, so. And I was just like, I still helped. I still bought items for both houses outside of my child support, as far as like clothes and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some stuff I kind of cut out. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't going to do because I am on child support. I am getting my daughter and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't an asshole or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand that she do spend a lot of time there. So, and then I used to always go overboard as far as like with my daughter, as far as everything. Like she still got a whole dresser of wipes. I would buy wipes for like 4 to 5 months straight. You know what I'm saying? And then and that type of situation would last somebody a year, but a dad gonna use 11 wipes for one situation.
In one situation, you hear me?
A female gonna use, she can make that one wipe last the whole thing.
You damn right. No. You damn right.
I'm using 4, 5 of them things for one ooh-wop. Yeah, I'm using 4, 5 of them.
Yep, I'm telling you, I don't use too many wipes. Use one, and then wrap it around a little bit. Yes. Well, I will say this before we get off of here. It's very few men, Jenerius, that has as many memories that you have in the first year. In the very first year. You have so many memories. When I told Jenerius to send me some pictures, baby, he sent a lot of pictures. He was taking pictures with him and his baby.
Yeah.
When you on that side, we can't hear it. You're going to have to go.
Yeah. Like I said, like I took her to a lot of places like the zoo and like to like the arcade, to like the cider mill, to like Trick or Trunks, to like the park and stuff. But she was so young, she couldn't really appreciate it. But I appreciated spending that time with her. And like she didn't get to the age where like she can really comprehend to like everything that was going on. Cause it was like one time I took her to like it was a kid arcade, but you know what I'm saying? I took her there. I ended up just taking a photo with the little Spider-Man booth. It's like, I took it there. I was like, man, I just realized, man, you ain't ready for this. I tried to make her play the, when they step and dance with the little arcade or whatever. And she just stood there. I took a picture of her. It was like, all right, we out. And then we went to my, so she ended up playing. We played. Wow. And I had just put like about like $30, $40 on like a play card or something. Like, I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. but I just took. I ended up just going to my sister's house. And we just she just played with my nephew and stuff like that. So she enjoyed that after that. But that
Yeah,
day
at
I
that
had
age,
to.
they enjoy the simple things. They
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
enjoy
yeah.
it.
So when I was trying to do too much, a little bit, but yeah.
Trust me, I understand.
Yeah.
My son's first birthday party, we spent $600 for him to keep walking and falling at the same time at Catch Air. Catch Air.
Yeah.
Had no business taking him there at all. He couldn't play with nothing but the little balls that was falling out of the big old things where all the balls was at. And I'm just sitting up here looking like I just wasted $600 for him to walk about 3 or 4 steps and then he'll fall. Walk 3 more steps and he'll fall. So I completely understand that one. Let's get into these comments before we go. Carmen said the system failed him. There are too many fatherless children out there to have an attitude when you have one that wants to be in their child's life. You're right about that. Kia, hey Kia. Kia said she was a kid being a kid. Yes, she was. Carmen said, you can see the light in his eyes when he talks about his baby. Yes. Jenerius' face just lights up when he talk about her. Definitely. Miss Joyce has something. Let me see what Miss Joyce said. Miss Joyce said, it will be wise to get those pictures developed at a Photoshop just in case something happens to your phone. Also, print a hard copy of those text messages. She's right. She is right. So all right. Well, y'all, we gotta get out of here. Jenerius, thank you again so much for being vulnerable. Letting us know what happened with your baby. Um, just showing up. You know, this ain't easy. He can tell y'all this shit ain't easy. But he know he gotta do it for his baby girl. He got to. He got to. It's a must. So, Jenerius, if anybody wants to find you, if they want to bring you to their platform, where can they find you at?
They can look me up just like you did. Yeah, I'm available on Instagram. I don't got a Facebook.
Say that again.
My Instagram is up and running. You got my name on
On the
top of here.
screen.
I got my name linked to my Instagram. I'll pop up. It's a picture of my daughter.
Yep, it's a picture of his daughter. So all you have to do is type in Jenerius Starks and the picture of his daughter will pop up. And then go ahead and DM him. Let's go ahead and try to get this story out here, y'all. Let's get it out here to bring awareness and also make sure that this man don't get out. Okay, he do not need to get out at all in these streets no more ever for what he has done. So, Jenerius, again, thank you. Jason, is there anything you want to say before we leave?
Man, thank you for telling your story. You feel me? I think any man that watches this going forward will know that you're not necessarily out here bashing the other parent, but you're telling your story and saying, enlighten yourself, young men that are out there that are having these kind of issues with the other partner. Enlighten yourself. Make sure you know your laws, know the rules, and just
Yes.
know how to navigate through the system so you can get as much time as possible with your children. There are a lot of men fighting to see and have their children with them almost 24/7, but just equal or more time than what is given. Because when they say half, like some dads aren't actually getting half. Like 1 day to 2 days a week for 4 hours, and you know what I'm saying, every other weekend is not half. That's way less than half. So,
Exactly.
continue to fight for yours. Get your children, man. Fellas, enlighten yourself again. Enlighten yourself. Thank you for sharing your story with us, Jay. My heart do go out to you. I'm glad they did catch this, man. Not only
Yeah,
that, man, you are right. It is right. You do light up when you talk about your daughter, and I love that. Keep those memories very, very close to you, man.
definitely. All right. Goodness, I'm coughing. All right, y'all. We finna get out of here. Again, Jenerius, thank you so much. Please stay on just for about 3 minutes after we end the broadcast so that I can holler at you for a second. You guys, I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see y'all live next show, March 22nd. We still will have shows showing on Friday, Saturday, and Monday, but they will be pre-recorded videos, okay? So y'all go check them out. They are throwbacks, but I will see you guys on March 22nd, live video. I will let y'all know when I come back on the 22nd why I'm finna be gone for so many episodes. You know, it got to be something. It got to be something. So I'll let y'all know when I return, okay? I love y'all. Be watching out for me. Be watching out for Jason at CTV Radio on TikTok. You know he be getting it in, baby. So make sure y'all check him out just as well. And you know what you got to do? You got to check out my babies, okay? Here they go.